Point of order, the Honourable Minister, Paula Bennett.
I seek leave to table the benefit numbers for the month of May, which will show that there's less than 50,000 on the unemployed.
Taken?
Yes, I do, because it's publicly available.
Thank you. There is objection. Just order. 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 I know it's early. Now, but just before I call the next member, can I... Order. Order. Can I just inform members that yelling across the House that interjections are permitted, but it's usually aimed at the person who is speaking. We haven't got anybody at the moment. Can I now, before I call the next member, can I just advise the House and the whips that there will be a number of 5-minute calls coming up. I call and I will ring the bell with 1 minute remaining for those with the 5-minute call.
Mr. Speaker,
I call the Honourable Member Cam Calder.
It's a huge pleasure to take one of these 5-minute calls, and I'm just wondering whether the previous Speaker was displaying willful ignorance or a real lack of understanding. Or maybe he had his eyes closed over the last 3.5 years. He talked about export markets, Mr. Speaker, export markets, and we've just had yet another example of the excellent work being done by our Trade Minister, Honourable Tim Grosser. And the work that he's done has been going on for a long, long period of time, but the most recent jewel in the crown was the expression of interest from Mexico. Mexico and Canada in joining the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is going to add to our trading opportunities. We've set ourselves a number of targets, Mr. Speaker, and we're very happy to do that. This is a government that is prepared to set targets and to be held to account. And one of the targets we have set is to generate 40% of our GDP through trade. And this work, through the good efforts of our excellent trade team, led by Tim Grosser, will only help that. And the TPP recognises that this is an area of prosperity. The Pacific Basin is an area of prosperity. New Zealand's lead role in that is well signalled and well recognised by such countries as the United States, who have put up their hand to be involved. Japan is signalling its intention. We know that Vietnam, Malaysia, Australia and all these countries have joined with the initial group, which indeed was Singapore and New Zealand, to create a very powerful trading bloc in the world for the future. Mr. Speaker, it appears there is little or no awareness of the global financial crisis on the other side of the House. Little or no awareness of the turmoil that's existing in Europe at the moment, where we've just had the last few days ago, we've had a second attempt for the Greeks to form a government. They have done so, and by the skin of the teeth, they have decided to listen to the EU, the IMF and the European Central Bank and adopt the austerity measures demanded by those who are helping them weather this huge recession and financial crisis that they are facing. The European financial turmoil remains a significant threat for New Zealand. However, despite this, the good work of this government over the last 3 years has cushioned New Zealanders from the worst effects of that crisis, the ongoing crisis, despite the fact that we heard in the House just a very short while ago that the previous leader of the opposition had no thought that it was actually still going, but in fact it still is, and I believe that we recognise that on this side of the House, even though on others they feel that maybe that's something that really New Zealand doesn't have to take much awareness of. However, we have had excellent results in our GDP figures. We are making progress. It may be lumpy, it may be bumpy, and it may be a little bit grumpy, but we are making progress, and primary production is up. Manufacturing is stronger. In La Labour land, these things seem to be unrecognised. In La Labour land, they seem to have no appreciation of the huge progress that has been made over the last 3.5 years. Progress that will be continued by this budget. Some of the things that we have made progress on is, despite the comments made by a previous speaker on the other side, we have had significant improvements in our country's safety. Security is the first duty owed to a community by the state, and all over New Zealand, communities are feeling safer. In my own area of interest, where I have my office in Manurewa, the people there in Manurewa are telling me they are feeling safe. They are feeling safe. They are telling me they are feeling safe, and the reason they're feeling safe is because this government has invested in them. We're doing a lot of work to protecting our most vulnerable, and this will continue with this new budget. The work done by Honourable Paula Bennett in the House, the Green Paper addressing how we can protect vulnerable children, is addressing an issue which is a stain on our country's escutcheon. It's appalling that so many of our young people have been assaulted and battered and subject to physical violence over a period of time, and we are putting up our hand to do something about it. And it is not easy. There are no simple, easy answers, but this budget is determined to set targets in the public service, and one of those targets is to improve the results for our vulnerable children in avoiding the appalling statistics continuing to increase as they have year after year. This is a fine budget. This is an excellent budget.
I call the honourable member, Catherine